We are talking with the Viking today, and this is Can We Chat? This podcast was made possible by our sponsors, FT3, Orange County's premier indoor shooting range, and Pinnacle Firearms Training, CCW, Fundamentals, and Advanced Gun Handling. Live defensively minded. What is going on? My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA. This channel will help you clarify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and inform you of the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Please welcome the man that always has my six, Anthony Vega. What is going on, my brother?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for showing up, man. That's great.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
So we just had a local match, and I haven't seen you in it seems like years.
Yeah, maybe a week or two, but, when you're thousands of miles apart,
How did life get in the way?
It always seems to, and then it always seems to come back. It's just, temporary little voids, that's all.
Well, it was an awful treat.
It was nice to be able to go out and shoot a match and kind of forget about the oddities of the universe for a little bit and be in your own head and shoot a match.
I mean, there's just so much going on with the, it started with the Christmas holidays, right? Or December.
Yeah.
Actually, further than that, right? Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then it just got worse.
Just started going downward spiral, flat spin, whatever you want to call it. It was,
So I just got back from the sheepdog.
I was going to say, love the match.
Aside from that, it seems that I'm nobody without you. Because that's all I got was, hey, so where's Anthony?
Well, I guess you confirmed me for next year before I even knew it, because even before I knew, I was leaving the last local match, and Scott's like, hey, I heard you're going to sheepdog next year. I'm like, I just found this out 5 minutes ago. There's no way you already knew. So I knew there's some shenanigans.
So Scott and I sat there, and he just kept on looking at me like, I think we're going to have to bring somebody. And I'm like, yeah, what happened? What am I? Yeah, you were definitely missed. Quite a few subscribers out there, especially from South Carolina, right? They were asking, "Hey, so did Anthony come?" Or I'm like, first of all, I sat there and I was like, "Who?"
Nah. He's just a imaginary person.
Wow. Yeah, you were pretty popular down there. Absolutely.
I guess it's confirmed that I'll be there next year.
I apologize for not giving you a heads up on that, but I already scheduled that for you. So
all right, I'll make sure I put it down in my notebook now. It'd be great. That's one of the goals for. I'm sure we'll probably talk about goals, but it is one of my goals next year to actually go out and shoot a couple more bigger matches. And
that would probably be the biggest. I've never seen anything like the sheepdog. One division and 210 individuals out there.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It was right up your alley too, right? CCP. Fastest guys out there. And I said to him, "Oh my God, I'm just shooting against Anthony all over again." So, there were some really, really interesting shooters out there, and I had such a great time. And I know you will too. So,
I have a great time even at a local match. So, if we're not going out there and having fun, then what's the point?
Yeah, right. So, there was lots of alcohol out there, steak. I don't think they had anything else out there other than that. So,
that's all I need. Sign me up.
So, we just had our local match. You shot ESP. You're taking a break from the smaller guns, or?
No, it's not that. It's just I started thinking, because I have a lot of guys that come over and like, oh yeah, let me see your staccato. When I'm at my house, I'm like, oh yeah.
You're known for the staccato, yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I haven't shot in a very long time. I think I'd had thought about it. It was like almost a year. So Megan's like, well, why don't you shoot that? I'm like, and I was going to shoot at the match before, but with everything going on, I was just like, oh, well, I got to change my gear out. So I didn't get to change all my gear out and all the mag pouches and all that. So it took an extra little bit.
Any new changes with the gear?
No. So I run the double alpha pouches. So you could just change the inserts out.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty much universal to whatever gun you're running for the most part. So
Instead of having a brand new rig.
yeah, so instead of turning apart the whole rig, you just change some inserts and then plop them right back in. Then change the hanger, change the holster on it, and call it good. But I was between this match and last match, I had to load ammo and change brass, and then I was getting brass from you since you're roll sizing it, so it was like a whole debacle on that one too, to where you weren't even in the state. I needed brass, you had the brass, so.
And then when I came home from Georgia, I got to roll that brass for him.
Yeah, so then dropped off I think the next day, and then I loaded the night before and made it happen. So
I'm sorry for cutting it so close for you. I just I couldn't get to it before I left. It was just there was just so many things that were going on, and
it's funny how life gets in the way, like we were just saying.
Yeah, here we go with that again. What was your favorite stage?
You know what? This match was a great match.
It's getting more technical.
It is getting a little more technical. I can't remember the stage number. I did like number 1 because you could go so fast and it was a speed trap. And for me, not shooting that gun for a while, getting used to it, I'm like, I saw those 3 targets. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm just going to try to shoot this as fast as humanly possible and see what happens. And every once in a while, I like test myself of, all right, how fast can you possibly do this and what are the results? And I just saw that. I'm like, this is going to be one of those tests.
Well, here's Viking shooting stage 1. So are you used to that trigger going back from like a stock trigger to? Yeah.
I mean, I think even on the Legion, because it's the only thing I've done to that gun is just a recoil spring.
Right.
So it has a factory trigger in it and everything else. So going from that to the staccato, I mean, you're going from 6.5, almost 7 pounds to 2 1/4.
Oh yeah. So controlled pairs takes on a whole different meaning.
Right? Yeah, it's a night and day difference.
How do you control a trigger that light with controlled pairs?
Straight.
Oh, really? You just keep
your fingers straight until you're ready to shoot, just like anything else. But I mean, with that, it's so fast, and the gun's going back into battery so quick that I mean, there's some guns you'll have to wait on the gun to go back into battery. That one's set up to where as soon as you fire the trigger, I mean, you can be right back on it, and it's already there for you.
So would you say that would actually create an advantage over the stock guns?
And like that? Yeah, easy. I mean, once you have a gun tuned to that, I mean, for the most part, you could press out and literally just start banging away on the trigger, and that you should have a good tight group within reason.
Do you recommend beginning shooters with advanced triggers such as those?
I don't. Reason being is you don't want to be able to go that fast because you're going to try to push yourself to where you can't think as fast as you could actually react to.
Right. I had that's a great point. I had 2 mentoring during the match, and one of them just both of them went out there, and I go, I don't know how you shoot, so I'd like to see you shoot. As long as we're safe, we're good. But so they just went out and went as fast as they could, right? And they just kept on going and kept on going. And I sat there and went, all right, so I'm going to have to tone back on the literal sense, right? So whatever I tell them, right, they're going to really, literally do, right? So, but they had a great time shooting. I'm like, all right, let's just put 2 on the paper from now on and make them count, okay?
Yeah, and that's the thing with the newer shooter, with highly advanced trigger work and all that.
Yeah,
they don't have the fundamentals down yet. You have to have that baseline fundamentals of trigger press and everything else to where you take some highly modified gun and then put a stock gun back in their hands. Now they're like, hey, what's going on here? So if you have the fundamentals, the advantage to having a gun that is built around that is you already have the fundamentals down. Now you're just using that as an advantage rather than making up for skill on a gun. So
wow, yeah. So there are young kids out there, better eyes than I do, and they outside of California, you're able to polish things and make things work a little bit more efficiently, right? So here in California, they frown upon stuff like that. So that's why my guns are just the way they are.
Yeah.
And I get criticized for that stuff. It shows in the scoring too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm having a very difficult time keeping up with the fast guys.
Well, you are at a highly disadvantage with the LEM triggers. So,
I'm just.
I mean, it's set up for a defensive gun, and
Yeah.
it's exactly what it's built for, and that's its bread and butter. But
Yeah.
you're trying to take that to.
I got teased by that all weekend.
I'm sure you did,
in Georgia. So, but it's coming around. It's fun, but until it's not, and I think it's at that point where it's not.
It's no longer fun.
No.
I mean, it's good to have practice with your carry gun, but
Yeah, but it's just not.
it's not fun anymore.
It's not. Thank you.
You've put your time in. Now it's
Right.
time to have fun.
Right.
So what are you gonna do?
I would love a. Well, I have that P365.
I've been telling you for a
for
while.
macro, right? So I think we should do that then.
Yeah,
You help me do that?
you know I'm going to anyway.
We're going to show you how to build a P365 to a race gun, so I won't have any issues.
just a slight learning curve.
So just a slight learning curve, absolutely. So aside from your ESP, are you ever going to go to Carry Optics?
So that's one of the other things I'd really like to do this year is actually shoot some other divisions I haven't shot. There may have been a trade with John. So there is a possibility now that, there might be a couple of revolver matches. I shot that one match and had
Wait.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Yeah, we're rewind.
Okay, so John's one of our fellow teammates. What kind of sorcery did he spent over you now? What's going on?
After him wanting me to shoot a revolver match so bad and bugging
I
everybody.
remember that. We all got to see that mess.
Yeah, it was a beautiful disaster. The gun that actually worked, since someone else loaned me a gun that obviously had some issues.
Yeah.
John let me use his backup gun, and I actually really enjoyed it.
That was the
686 Smith.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, so me and John have been talking ever since then, and I know he secretly has been wanting me to shoot revolver with him. So we end up making a trade. I end up with the 686, and John ended up with what he wanted,
which was
not my business to tell other people's now property.
I just,
never know who's
inquiring
listening,
minds wanted to.
I know, but what if John's wife is hearing this?
This is true. Never mind. All right,
you know what? We got to meet her at the Christmas party, and she was a lovely woman. So you know what? I'm not going to be on her bad side. Not happening. At least not this early.
No, yeah, definitely not this early, right?
I mean, we're just going to leave it at that.
Okay.
I might trade him a Ferrari. I don't know.
So you have a revolver now.
I will in about 2 days.
So you drossed it, right?
Yeah.
So you're waiting for it to get into your hands. You have all your equipment, right?
No.
Still.
So what was funny is actually that day when we did the transfer.
Yeah.
I asked John. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need a holster. What holster should I run? So he goes, oh, the Comtac. I'll send you a link. So he sends me a link to it, and he's like, well, I have that holster that you ran for that one. If you want to use that in the meantime, I'm like, well, I already bought the other one. He's like, that was 2 minutes ago. I'm like, yeah, you sent me the link, and that was the one you told me to get. I got it.
I was just gonna say, just get yourself a belt, and I'll let you borrow all the stuff.
I know how that worked last time.
Okay. That was just the gun.
Oh,
I didn't know I have to give you the ammo as well, but that's how that worked out. I apologize for that. So.
that's okay. Just ruined part of my day. That's all.
Woo.
So going back to that, definitely want to shoot some revolver.
Okay.
Never shot carry optics, so I take that back. I shot carry optics classified once, and then ended up not shooting it because it was a little too late for the match. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Haven't shot PCC. So there's
we can change that real quick.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, I know you're good with a rifle too. So
Yeah, so
I think we should see that.
I definitely want to broaden my horizons a little bit and shoot some stuff I haven't, shot yet, and not fall down those same routines all the time.
Okay.
To me, I like the challenge, and I like to be able to be proficient in everything, not just a thing. So.
Well, because there's 8 divisions, so that's a lot of guns.
It is. On top of, at some point now that I'm shooting sheepdog, I have to practice with CC.
Sheepdog's it's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Whole different beast. And I really enjoyed the concept, right? One division going crazy, but the experts they were handing out masters 12 deep.
That's insane.
Yeah. So it's funny because we've been going back and forth with Mr. 12. And that's going to be the ongoing joke, I'm sure, for the whole year. And but I'm still proud of him. He showed that he was better than I guess there were 60 guys or something like that, right? In just my division, and he beat me. So a lot of people beat me with my limb trigger. So.
Well, we got a remedy for it. So.
Yeah. So Austin Pruitt. Austin Pruitt, he did a class, a competition class after the sheepdog. Not that we didn't have enough to shoot, but we did another
little extra reps.
Yeah, oh my God, a lot of extra reps, and it was funny. All these years, I thought my grip and my techniques and my foundation was solid, and actually it wasn't. His dad, Walt, right, came up and said, he was looking at it and he goes. If I can just make one little tweak, right? So he just took my sport hand and just raised it up a little bit higher, right? The bore axis, closer to the bore axis, and then all of a sudden I can shoot again.
It's shocking how you can't see things that other people could see from the outside looking in.
Just an extra pair of eyes, right?
That's other advantages to a team.
Yeah, that was the best investment I've ever paid. It was just incredible. He goes, "Oh, just raise your hand. You're all set, ready to go." And I went, "It can't be just that easy, right?" And sure enough, right?
Sometimes.
So I was having issues with leans and the target distances out in Georgia, right? They were getting out there close to 20 yards, some of them, and trying to shoot them at speed was very difficult, challenging at least, right? And especially with my eyes, I just saw a target out there.
So it's just a blur
with the shadows
in the background.
on it. That's exactly what it was. And so at the local match here, I brought the issue up with Leaf, and he goes, "Hey, I don't have any problems with you moving, targets back a little bit, right? To give you guys some
practice for some of the big boys."
Yeah. So what did you think about those stages that were a little?
I actually really liked them.
Did you?
I do. I think there was another stage, I can't remember where it was, where you're asking, "Hey, how do you?" We're at is a head or body head.
Right.
And I looked over to that lean. I was like, I like stages like that where you could see something that is going to be a harder shot, but you might have an advantage here and a disadvantage here, and then be able to kind of play in your head, shooting it a different way.
Right.
Rather than just a cookie cutter, go here, shoot this, and then there's no other route to move, shoot, or kind of figure out a game plan. There's only so much you could do,
right?
Where something like that, you could kind of stage it and kind of go, all right, well, I'll take a gamble to gain here, or I could play it safe and do this. I like having that option of having it, gambling a little bit and being able to have that option.
In Georgia, they had this stage. It was a dog stage, right? And it was all locally inside, and then you had outsides, right? And I think the options to shoot that were endless, right? And I just looked at that, and I did 2 walkthroughs, and I just like, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing here, right? And so I sat there, and I reached back to Scotty, and Fred was also shooting, and I said, hey, I'm having problems trying to figure this out. There's just too much of this and that, and I don't like changing mags while running around a corner going the other direction. What do you think about going in a straight line? And they go, yeah, that's the way I was thinking of it. And I'm like, well, okay, so we were all in the same consensus, right? And so we ran it, and sure enough, that's exactly how Austin shot it. Less moving parts, right?
Yeah.
It's safe. Use direct lines and so forth, as long as you're keeping.
And shooter ability dictates a lot of that.
There you go, and as well as that, yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, is a novice shooter going to shoot it the same way? Probably not.
And there were actually, you sit there and I'm like, wow, I've never even thought about shooting it that way, right? But still, there were hard leans that they were trying to get through, and then mine was just just go straight direction. But it was a lot of moving, right? So. But the stages that we had in the local match, the same thing, right?
I think it was a great match, and it wasn't overly complicated, but challenging enough to have a great time.
Yeah, well, definitely I had a great time.
I know I did. It's just nice being out, and like I said, just popping some rounds downrange.
There you go. So next year you're planning on more matches?
Planning on more matches,
larger...
traveling a little bit more, shooting some larger matches. It's definitely one of my goals. Not just going to the same routine of shooting a local match and, having a great time, actually being able to travel and use that as an excuse to travel, see a little bit more of the great country that we live in.
Right.
And hopefully get to shoot in multiple states. It's a goal that I want to try to shoot at least one new state a year.
That's what you're saying. So I tried that. I started that, I'd say 6 years ago. Tried to shoot in every state. I think I am down to, there's 10 states that I haven't shot in, right? So I'll have to get to those. But I think we should cover a couple of those this coming
I was going
to
to say, I think now it's California, Nevada, and Colorado.
So the matches that are already on your mind, Western would be one.
Yeah, Western. I mean,
Sacramento. Okay, so yeah. Western.
I mean, we did say we gotta go see Joe up in Washington.
Washington. Yeah, he was upset last time you didn't show up.
I know.
It's always, I always have to make excuses for you not being there.
Damn, now you're making me feel really guilty. I'm sorry. I just need to start apologizing to everybody.
No, there you go.
This year.
You were just missed, and they haven't even met you yet. I said to her, "How's that even possible?" Okay. Well, you're definitely our eye candy, so I appreciate that.
I try to be.
I know you do. So Washington, obviously Sheepdog. There are lots in Florida. Carolinas. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of invitations to go to the Carolinas. So, Indiana. Thank you. Yeah, Indiana. So there's Who's Your Daddy? I think is the match. Oh. So I've never been to Indiana. Thank you.
Like Jones.
You guys excuse my Chinese, right? So. Any resolutions for the 2025? Something you're going to work on, or?
I think the only resolution, I'm pretty much set in my ways.
This is true.
Like I said, I think I kind of already went over the resolutions of traveling a little bit more, shooting.
Okay.
Shooting some new divisions.
Okay.
Those are more of my shooting resolutions. Outside of that, you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Is there a particular state that you ever wanted to go and visit?
I don't know. It'd be, I think within every state,
yeah,
or even any region or city or whatever, there's always going to be something great to find. And for Colorado, never went, and then went and shot nationals, and went and saw the Doc Holliday Museum, and did the hike to go see his gravestone and all that, and it was amazing. And finding little things like that, I had no clue that it was not that far away from where I was staying. It was like another hour.
That's funny. You look at these museums and sites and so forth. I'm looking at Sportsman Warehouse and Tractor Supply. And
for my dad, it's Walmart. I think he went to South Africa and he looked to see if there's maybe a Walmart down there. I think he went to Wyoming and went through Yellowstone and all that. And I was planning his map and routes through all the different Walmarts.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. For whatever reason, it is just something that he has to at least walk through the store and
is that just like a little piece of home, or what do you think?
I don't know.
Walmart though.
Walmart.
I mean, I'm not kicking Walmart or anything. I enjoy Walmart just as much as the next person, right?
Well, especially in some of the areas where it's, not so it's densely populated, like,
Right.
around here locally,
Right.
like whatever. But, I went and did a job with one of my buddies in Payson, Arizona.
Yeah.
And that Walmart was one of the nicest Walmarts because they had so much of everything. It was huge, it was clean, nice.
It's a lot different than the Walmart here, like, in Long
Yeah.
Beach or something, right? Versus the one in Valdosta, Georgia, right?
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed myself in that one, right?
Yeah, rather than going, I gotta go here.
Oh man! So the new thing is that the team is actually we took a giant step forward toward a website. So I finally Ryan Ammons, right, Randy's son, finally stepped forth and said, "Hey, I can really help you with that." I'm like, "Really?" Because I have no time to do this stuff, nor do I know how, right? And then,
If I can't fix it with a hammer, I have no idea what's going on.
so that was like 3 attempts toward building a website, and finally, he goes, "Well, here, how's this?" And I sat there and went, "Wow, okay,
How would you do that?
what kind of sorcery is that?" So I'm reaching out to all of our teammates to try to bring a little bit of them to the website. Little things like the Viking tips and so forth. And Cynthia submitted a recipe for a drink, her favorite drink. We'll probably continue on for the monthly cocktail or something for her, and so she can build and print whatever she's into that month. And I think
Flavor of the month?
Flavor of the month, exactly. I'll keep on adding rules, and we'll see who else steps up and see what goes on with that stuff. What do you think about a website for the public?
I think it'd be great, to be able to read something that, different areas, like, just like all of us, we fall in the same routine. I think that's where it goes into, New Year's resolutions. You
Yes.
reflect on the past year and you fall in this routine, or maybe a blog or something like that, where someone comes up with a recipe like, hey, now someone has actually tried this. Let's step out of the comfort zone and actually try this. So I think it's a great thing.
Oh, so
And I think it might be the right timing.
So we'll let you know when that is coming up. That should be. I think we should resolve the issues probably no longer than January. I'd say we should launch it in January. What do you think?
Why not?
Okay, so we'll get that set up, and I'll let you guys keep you updated on that stuff.
What about yourself? What do you got going on this year? Resolutions. Self
man.
shooting.
Well, more health related stuff. I finally decided that I'll go see an optometrist and have him take a look at my eyes, which I did, and they're exactly the way I assumed. Because distant targets, especially in the shadows, I was losing. It was getting a little fuzzy, almost as fuzzy as your beard.
That's pretty fuzzy.
Yeah. Thank you. Dun-dun-dun. Right. So I got some new sunglasses. My hearing protection is no longer what it used to be. So John had some Axles, and I'm like, so what do you think about these things? And he goes, I put them on. I don't, and that's it.
That's what's funny is, for me, I tried them.
Yeah.
Could not do it.
Really?
I don't have the protection. It doesn't work for me as well.
Too loud or?
It doesn't cancel out enough for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the other part. So they're not very expensive, right? Compared to my ESPs.
Yeah.
And the ESPs, they provided an extreme amount of cancellation. But now all of a sudden, I'm thinking that they need to be remeasured.
Okay.
Right? So I guess recasted, and then the digital mechanisms inside needs to be updated as well. But I'm like, maybe I should just figure out something else, right?
It's so funny how certain things work for others.
Yeah.
For me, I like the Howard Light bolts.
Oh, the Howard Lights. Okay.
I like those, and then the Noise Fighter gel cups, because they have they're a gel
Right.
over ear,
But
they seal really nice. So rather than the foam that kind of conforms, these really conform, so it seals everything around
Right.
it. And they actually have a sunglass cut, so you don't put as much pressure. They're kind of relieved up on top, so you can wear your sunglasses and all that.
That was the only reason why I never used the earmuffs was because it
Puts so much pressure.
It was
yeah.
very difficult.
And after I started wearing those, I swore by them now.
Okay.
That's all I use, and now Megan uses them.
So I think we'll take a look at hearing protection for the next week, right? We'll see exactly who's doing what and what's what.
What works for someone doesn't work for someone else.
So, what else is going on? What's in the pipe for any Viking tips? Anything? You got any cool little tips for us coming up?
Brain's kind of like a 7-Eleven. It's always doing business. It's always open, but not always doing business.
Oh man, that's all I got. The resolutions. Any other things that's going on? How's the family?
Family's doing well.
Yeah.
With the holidays, it's nice being able to at least talk to, hang out, and all that. So it's nice. Everybody's good and healthy now. So.
Oh, good. So this is literally the downtime for the season. So
yeah.
What do we do from here? I mean, tomorrow is Christmas, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's Christmas. Christmas Eve today.
Did you get all your shopping done?
Yeah.
I took care of the team early, so I don't have to worry about none of you numbskulls, right? So that was early, and then Gail, right? I have to take care of Gail and the dogs, and we're all set. So yeah, I think I'm good.
That's an easy one.
I just got to worry about a Ford Maverick of some sort.
Yeah. Looks like one to be in the driveway soon enough.
Yeah.
Did you ever get the color picked out?
I think she did.
The trim edition?
She likes that new color that they have out, the matte color. So I think we're going to have to take a look at that stuff. So
a little after Christmas present?
Something.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Gail will see that one soon?
So when's the next match? You just
after the New Year. I guess we're going to
just do another local?
Another local, unless you got something up your sleeve that I don't know about.
Well, Florida State is the end of January, I believe, February.
I know there's Chris hit me up. I know they're shooting a match in Georgia, but I think that's a GSSF match.
Yes.
And then Bill was saying another match in Phoenix.
Yes.
But
they're already sold out. By the way, if you haven't got in now, you know.
Yeah, I knew that. And for me and Megan, timing's a little odd because her birthday is beginning of February, mine's the end of February. So like it was more of a hey, if you want to do this, we could do that for you, huh?
You have plans for your birthday? Or?
I don't really. Megan, she wants to do something a little nicer, being that last year was her big birthday, but with a lot of the family issues that we had at the beginning of the year and unforeseen traveling, it put a damper on some of the happy spirits of birthdays. So
yes,
I'm gonna try and make up for it this year
for the whole team. There were some strange things going on, right? And Randy's actually doing very well. I heard he was up and walking around with assistants. So
awesome.
they're going through a lot of PT and OT. So he's coming around. If you haven't know, Randy Ammons had a fall, a serious fall, and put him in the hospital for a time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but he's coming out. Hopefully we'll get him back out as soon as we can.
Also maybe doing a little 2-for-1, maybe contact Ryan, see about shooting a little local matchup that way and maybe doing a pit stop.
So actually him and I are in contact with each other, and we were talking about, because we have to seal up the website thing, right? Because he needs things to put on it so we can take it live. And that was one of the things that we were talking about. I was saying, hey, how about if I just bring up, a few people coming up, we'll talk, see how this goes. We'll shoot the Sacramento match. And he said that it's the first Sunday of the month, which I think that's next week.
All right.
And so I'm thinking maybe February. Oh, wait.
Yeah. It's funny how that whole life thing gets in the way.
So I guess I'll be doing it by myself or something. It'd probably be easier if we just fly up and fly back. You know, do it on a day or something. We'll figure that out.
Logistics.
Logistics. So, other than that, I think hopefully it won't be the Western because that's in May.
Yeah, we definitely have to make it before then.
Absolutely. We'll keep you guys updated on that stuff.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? You good?
No, I think we're good. Like I said, hope everybody out there watching this videos has a safe and Merry Christmas, and good luck to you and your loved ones and next year for shooting.
Merry Christmas to you, and thank you very much for joining us throughout the whole year. We, Viking and myself, we really appreciate you supporting us. But a special shout out to the channel membership. This is your support. Busy at work. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
Anthony the Viking Vega.
Please be safe, and we shall see you on the range.
Like, share, subscribe.